Call 256-576-4977 to make your audible for the Blitz.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Captain Cool and the Bandi Man.
Hello and welcome in, everybody, to a wacky Wednesday here in No Man's Land. Welcome to the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, the Captain Cool.
Oh my goodness, it's
Captain Cool. Someone lose that grenade. Make sure you guys find us online at theblitzsportsradio.com, on Facebook at The Blitz Sports Radio, and on Twitter at @TheBlitz_sports, where we post polls, we post updates, we post behind the scenes and everything else that you would love to see here in the Blitz Network. And while you're at it, go and follow us on Twitch and YouTube at WZZNTV for more than just sports talk. You really get the full effect of the show. However, sometimes it does show me reading my script a little bit more than I should. I just saw my first story, and I was like, oh, geez, there's a lot of reading to be done, and I don't know if I want to go off script, but I'm going to figure it out. Either way, it's going to be fine. Go and follow us over there, because we do have a Wacky Wednesday. It may not be like a tier list Tuesday, okay? So you can just chill out in your car, drive down the road, to dodge all the crazy thunder and rain that's going on out there. But you can just listen to us instead of having to watch on WZZN TV. But it's completely up to you, and you can make sure you get the app, the Blitz Sports Radio app, over on Apple and Android devices. And if you want to join in on any of the conversations we're going to be talking about today, you can call us at 256-576-4977. And this first hour is presented by the guys that you probably need right now, and that is Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. And if you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online and fill out your free quote today. You can find them at FlemingHSV.com today. And remember that Fleming always shows up. You're really going to need them, though. It was storming outside. I literally thought there was like an earthquake or something like that, because of the thunder just shattered everything. It just made my eardrums just hurt. And I was actually a little scared. Thankfully, got a Fleming roof atop my head, so I'm going to be fine because I can sit comfortably knowing that there's a reliable roof atop my head. Either way, you're live hanging with the chillest crew of 2-8 Sports Radio in the booth. The one, the only, Bandi Man Bailey Lowry.
How's it going, Captain Cool?
I can't complain too much, Bandi. Before the show, I was chilling out, doing the script, doing all my work, with the rain outside just trickling down. And you know what? That is the best vibe ever, okay? That is my favorite weather, just like whenever it's super cloudy, it almost looks like it's nighttime during the day, okay? I love it.
I mean, it pretty much was nighttime.
It was so dark. Why was it so dark? These clouds come rolling in. The thunder it starts hitting. The lightning just starts showing. I'm gonna stand outside and take a little look at all this. I got a little patio. I can enjoy it a little bit. And then I go back inside. I'm like, I didn't see any lightning. I go back inside. I turn my head, and then I just see light just go behind me, just like shocking the ground, and I'm just like, whoa, that must have been and then the thunder hit, and it just like, it sounded like it was vibrating everything in the house. And I thought it was actually super cool because I was just sitting comfortably in my house. I knew I was going to be totally fine. I just hopped on my bean bag that I got just the other day, and I got back to work, because that's what us working class men do, Bandi. But how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, nothing to complain about. No video games that are just pissing you off today?
Nah, not really.
No,
not particularly. No.
All right, well,
Kind of indifferent toward Valorant.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's always the case.
Kind of in the same mood for Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Not really feeling anything shooter wise.
Nah.
Like Call of Duty wise.
Yeah.
Even with the good changes.
You gotta hop on some NHL. You gotta play some of that.
Well, I mean, I was thinking about it. I mean, should I just hop on play now with the Golden Knights?
Yeah, why not? Actually, that would be
give me a couple easy dubs.
That'd be a pretty good idea. I mean, that team scores like nonstop, and we all saw that yesterday during the Stanley Cup Finals. But I'm gonna get into that in a second. But Bandi, I'm wondering about this because I want to go back and play some of my older hockey games, because I have NHL. I think it's 2001 or 2003 on the PlayStation 3. No, on the PlayStation 2. Sorry. Where, like, in Huntsville, do you go to find, like, old hookups? Because I'm trying
old hookups.
Like, old hookups to the TV. I'm trying to find an AV connector for my PlayStation for the TV that I got right now.
Gamers Paradise is probably a good place to start.
Gamers Paradise.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
think it's off University.
Gotta give a little plug to them. Gamers Paradise. I'm gonna put it down. Paradise. All right. Now I got it down. Now I know where to look whenever I get off of work. I'm going to take a look at that place because I need to get this PlayStation 2 hooked up so I can play some old-fashioned NHL or possibly some weird Mortal Kombat titles because I don't really understand. It's just like there's so many Mortal Kombat games that I don't hear about and they're all on the PlayStation 2. It's similar to Call of Duty and the big red one being on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
One of the more unheard of Call of Duty titles. But either way, Bandy, we got a lot of sports talk to hop into today. The SEC is dropping their SEC schedule for 2024 later today. It'll be around 6 o'clock. We're going to be talking about the speculations, who's going to be playing who is already confirmed to play who, because we got a little bit, and what Oklahoma and Texas, what type of role that they're going to play in this newfound SEC come 2024, because we got to look at these divisions and say, well, now that they're not a thing for this league, can everybody just play everybody every single year? Like, well, can we do that? I mean, we got 16 teams now. I mean,
15 games?
Sheesh. I mean, let's just like have the entire season, and then everybody else could just wait for the playoffs until the SEC is done playing through all of their games.
Yeah, it's like, because we know who's really going to be there.
Do we, though?
I mean,
Do we?
a good amount of SEC.
Oh, of course. Oh, I thought you meant like in the SEC.
No, I'm saying like in the playoffs in general. It's going to be SEC.
I was like, moving forward in the SEC, we have no idea who is going to be the top dog, okay? Georgia could be because they have a pretty decent quarterback room right now. And outside of, whenever they lost Stetson Bennett, that was kind of the thing moving forward. They were like, well, we have a lot of this other squad still coming back, but we don't have some of our best players, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Best player on defense is gone. Best player on offense is gone. Well, at least, Stetson Bennett, being the leader on offense, he's gone. So now, what are they going to do? They got some upcoming talent that's going to do some big things for them. And then now it's just like, is Tennessee going to continue to be good? Is Alabama going to be able to continue to be good? Is LSU going to find Jaden Daniels as the best quarterback in all of college football? It's all of these questions that we have going around right now. And then you can also throw in Arkansas. You got to throw in Ole Miss. You got to throw in.
You got Tennessee.
Yeah, I brought up Tennessee the first place. It's one of those things. It's just like, can they keep finding success even though Hendon Hooker's gone? And they only really utilized him for 1 year to see that success happen. Okay? I think that, a lot of these SEC schools are going to surprise us in both ways. We might see some teams like Alabama drop 3 or 4 games on the season. We might see a team like, South Carolina come up and be one of the better teams in the whole conference. There's so much that can happen because throwing in Oklahoma as well as, Texas in the upcoming seasons, obviously that's going to be in 2024, it's going to shake up everything even more, okay? This upcoming season, it's kind of like a little in-between. It's like the COVID year, okay? It's like we get a little taste of college football. We get to see how it goes, and Alabama wins it all. Okay, that's fine. It's the SEC. It's the COVID season. It's going to be a little wonky. Nobody really cares too much because it's hard to even think back to 2020 when Alabama did win that national championship. It is weird to think about. And now moving forward, this is going to be that in-between season where the SEC is kind of coming to an end when it comes to the traditional 8-game, 2-division conference. The 2-division conference has been around since like 1992, so it hasn't been around for too long. But it's still older than me and you. Okay, I mean, we've lived with all this stuff. We don't remember a time when the SEC was any different. Okay, so a lot of stuff to look into. We already know some of the teams. But all of that stuff is going to come out 6 o'clock today, but we'll be throwing our speculations and all that later. Also, the NHL season has come to an end.
In a pretty
lopsided way.
Yeah, dominating, lopsided.
Yeah, everything. And now the question really is, which was more lopsided? The NBA Finals or the Stanley Cup? I'm trying to think. I think we'll determine this, okay?
I think I got a pretty easy answer for you.
Bandy, I think we'll be able to determine this on today's episode, okay? We'll wait for a little bit later. But we also got news out of the MLB with the Oakland A's having their little boycott, the reverse boycott that they were talking about a while ago. Bandy, you remember me bringing that up to you whenever we were only like 18 games into the season. It was going to be later around this time of year. And we were going to see a resurgence in the Oakland A's fan base and actually fans in the Coliseum. And you know what? We got that. And I'm super excited to talk about that, even though it means nothing, because they're already going to be gone and they're going to be in Vegas come, whenever that's all going through. Okay? They're losing the rights to the Coliseum. They got to move on anyway, okay? And that Coliseum obviously is not it's not small enough to hold a reasonable amount of fans that would go to that Oakland A's game, okay? Because even these fans that went to this game, it wasn't close to the max amount that could fit into that Coliseum. But we'll talk more about that later, as well as some other stuff. But let's get into the big stories, because we'll have RJ White coming on later from Sportsline.com, talk a little bit of NFL. Yeah, that's right, RJ's back, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
he's back.
It's not the NFL season just yet. There's a lot of stuff that's going on, and we need answers, so we're going to be talking to him at the 3 o'clock hour. But today is June 14th, 2023, and here's what you need to know in sports today. What we saw last night was a culmination of overwhelming power from the Vegas Golden Knights as they defeated the Florida Panthers 9-3 in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals to take the series as well as the championship trophy. What a time for Vegas. First off, coming off of a WNBA title last year, and now just winning the Stanley Cup with and then looking forward to the future with Jimmy Garoppolo and the Raiders and what's happening there, because they're working on a Super Bowl as well. I think, you know what, since Vegas is on such a hot streak, why don't we throw the A's in there as well come 2029? And I think, you know what, this entire decade is going to be just all Vegas teams.
Yeah, maybe we could finally get some butts in the seats for
Why
the
not?
A's.
We could definitely see that. We could see Vegas becoming a sports location, a sports city, instead of just, the gambling city, the gambling capital of the United States. A lot of stuff's going down in Nevada right now. But either way, if you look over at what happened in this game, Mark Stone, he drew first blood, okay? Man, the captain of this team, you haven't heard about him too much. He's got a sick name, Stone. Man's got some stones. Either way, he drew first blood, and he absolutely embarrassed Bobrovsky with a little patience to get Vegas up on the board. Now, this was, only the start of a very long night for the Panthers, because fast forward to the third period, and they're down 7-1, only for 2 quick shots to get past Aiden Hill, making the score 7-3. But then the Panthers opened their net at like the 15-minute mark with like 5 minutes left in the game, only for, one said, Mark Stone yet again to send one amazing shot down the majority of the ice to get his hat trick. And that's a pretty big thing. That doesn't happen ever, okay? Especially in the final game of the season for a guy like a captain to do what he did. So very good stuff from him. But then moving forward, you see what happened. It was 9-3 at the end of this. It was just, we got to think, okay? What was the best part about the game? Because obviously it was very entertaining for a small a portion of fans, okay? Which,
well, did you even see the fans' reaction after the game was over?
I know. A lot of people are talking about, whoa, Vegas is so excited. And it's just Vegas fans looking at their phone or just holding up a little trophy and just not really doing anything.
Whoa.
It's Vegas. They got a lot of other things on their minds, okay? So they're about to probably go out to the clubs and do whatever they're about to do. Either way.
We're trying to see if there are other bets hit that night, too.
Either way. You gotta still just respect whatever they're doing, because obviously they're fans in Vegas. They're going to have different, thoughts and all that about winning a Stanley Cup, but it's still a humongous thing for them, and they're only going to get it. This is the first time in 6 years of this organization, okay? Which I'm still waiting 60-something years for the Cleveland Browns to win a Super Bowl. So, I'm a little upset. But either way, the best part about the game wasn't Marshall getting the Conn Smythe Trophy, okay? No. Even though that is a historic feat, something that hasn't happened since Wayne Gretzky, an undrafted player, getting the Conn Smythe Trophy. It's amazing. It's literally the MVP of the Stanley Cup or the playoffs, and it wasn't the captain getting a hattie either way. Okay, it wasn't Vegas winning their first cup, but it was actually getting to see Phil Kessel lift his third Stanley Cup of his career, even after being absent for nearly the entire playoffs. The funny thing is, Bandy, he didn't suit up for any of these Stanley Cup games.
He did not.
Except for when he came down to grab that trophy. Man has won 3 Stanley Cups now, and he has not played this entire postseason. Since Game 5, I think, of the Winnipeg Jets, okay? Vegas wanted to put out their best lines. They did. Phil Kessel was not a part of that. Man's getting old. And that's all the whole reason why I'm wearing this Arizona Coyotes jersey in the first place, to show a little love to Phil Kessel, little hot dog lover Kessel, little Sonic the Hedgehog, but if he was like, having a midlife crisis. That's the type of Phil Kessel I want to see. But either way, man might retire. I feel like this should be the end of him, even though you think back to 2016, he probably should have won that MVP. But, it is what it is, okay? It is what it is. The guy still has 3 Stanley Cups, and he's riding hot because his name is going to go down as, a player in the NHL. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. But either way, now it's really time to think about which of these series was more lopsided. Okay, Bandi?
Mm-hmm.
And I know, you could easily just say from the 9-3, Vegas destroying the Panthers in the final game. You could say that it was the series, but I mean, you go over and you think about it, and I mean, the Nuggets were playing just lights out too.
Yeah,
but it's a little bit different in
it was
the
a
NBA.
little slower pace.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Admittedly,
it was.
But a lot more games, and again, kind of like you said earlier, but a lot of the games in the Stanley Cup Finals came down to crunch time.
I mean,
especially that Game 4.
Yeah, I mean, Game 3 and 4 did. Game 1 and 2, no.
Not so much.
Game 5, definitely not.
But it was a little bit that way too for Miami and Denver as well.
Teams were getting away, but then teams were coming back, because that's the magic of basketball. Teams get on rolls and all that stuff. Whereas scoring a goal in the NHL, very difficult.
Yeah, very difficult.
I have no clue how Vegas was able to score 9 goals on one of the most electric goalies in the playoffs in Sergei Bobrovsky. But they were able to do it. And in some of them, you see, it's exactly what the Vegas Golden Knights have been doing all playoff long. They've been just screening out the goalie. They've been covering his face up. But others, it just looked like Bobrovsky was lost and he was tired. And you know what? The Panthers weren't going to take him out, and they just wanted to see how many goals their goalie could get past him. So, Bobrovsky took 9. And I have a stat actually on my phone, okay, from how he performed during every other team until him going into the Stanley Cup Finals. Okay, so his win-loss in the first 3 rounds of this playoffs was 7-0. Very nice, okay? Goals against in the first 3 rounds, this is per game.
Okay.
1.70%. Or, yeah, it's like, one almost 2 goals a game, all right? In this Stanley Cup Final, 6.57.
Ooh.
That means he was averaging, let's just round up to 7 goals past him a game. Okay, his save percentage went down to .789 from .952. Insanity. Bobrovsky, he may be good, but he's not Vegas good. And Vegas was able to exploit him all series long. And I got to say, it just goes down to the best team winning, and that was the Vegas Golden Knights. Bandi, what do we got going down during the E-Play-by-Play later today?
A couple of, little bit of a mini showcase, kind of following up on the Xbox Extended Showcase yesterday, going about kind of what other games are going to be coming to, well, not only the console, but also to Game Pass as well. And there's actually a game that snuck under my radar that came out. And it was actually one I was looking forward to. I don't know how it snuck right past me, but the System Shock remake is out.
It's out?
It's out.
It released?
Yeah, I had no idea.
What's it on?
I mean, I hadn't looked at this. It was on PC.
Is it on Game Pass?
I have not. I don't think so.
I still might get it. That game looks amazing.
And it's also the 10th anniversary of The Last of Us.
Really?
And you know what Naughty Dog's doing to celebrate it?
Another remake?
Absolutely nothing.
I mean, it's probably better.
Well, at least no game announcements.
Okay.
No game announcements.
Totally fine. They might, have like a cake with a dog on it.
Yeah, no part 3.
Yeah, no part 3 just yet.
No multiplayer game.
No nothing.
Probably Last of Us 2 remastered.
I mean, a multiplayer, just a multiplayer game, would be good.
I mean, Last of Us 1 had multiplayer.
Yeah, it did. So Last of Us 2 had no multiplayer at all.
No, as far as I know, it didn't. I mean, I'm not sure.
They should just do a standalone multiplayer game so it doesn't get in the way of the actual series itself. Yeah. I feel like having a nice little small multiplayer like some other games have done in the past. I think Resident Evil has done some multiplayer games outside of their stuff. I know. You're making that face.
They have.
But,
not to the best of their ability though.
yeah, but either way, I mean, congratulations for The Last of Us being 10 years old now and making us feel extremely old.
Yeah.
That's insane to think about that it's 10 years old.
Came out in 2013.
So did Grand Theft Auto 5.
That was also a really good year for gaming.
It was.
Dude, what is it with the threes? Like the years that end in 3 always seem to have the best gaming years. I gotta look back and see what came out in 2003.
Maybe we should do that as well in the play-by-play today.
That's not a bad idea.
Well, like 2013, we'll look back in 2003 and all that good stuff.
And a little bit of what's also coming out this year.
Very nice.
Because again, Starfield.
Yes.
It's looking huge.
It's looking huge. It's looking like just that game could make this year a huge gaming year altogether. But either way, we got to hop into the break. But when we come back, we're going to get into the rest of the cool stories like the Oakland A's future, possibly DeAndre Hopkins' new home, as well as a little bit more that's, kind of closer to home for us in one Mr. Caleb Holt doing some big things overseas. That's all coming up on the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
Guys, when we were 20, we never had to worry about spontaneity. And now that we've gotten older, spontaneity has been replaced with pills and injections. We're just trying to keep that intimacy, but it's taken away from spontaneity. At Advanced Life Clinic, we now offer GainsWave, which uses sound waves to non-invasively treat this issue with no need for pills or injections. Just give us a call, 256-888-9367, or check us out online, advancedlifeclinic.com.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So if you happen to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day, Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at $5. Coralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed precision overhead garage door service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision overhead garage door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision overhead garage door service. Call 256-400-4500.
The Blitz has been called.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to a wacky Wednesday here in No Man's Land. Welcome to the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandi Man, Bailey Larry.
Yep.
And you guys can call in on this first hour because it is wide open for you, 256-576-4977. And if you forget that number, it's right top of my head over on WZZN TV, on Twitch and YouTube, as well as the Twitter sphere at the Blitz_sports. So make sure you guys are following us over there for all of the Blitz action. Make sure you guys also know about our first hour sponsor who do a great job at what they do, and that is Fleming Roofing and Restoration. The guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online and fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up. Now, got to get into some of this good stuff, all right? I had a question for you in the first hour. I'm not going to ask it, Bill. I'm not going to ask it, Bandi, okay? I'm just going to leave it for another day. No, we got plenty to talk about. And the first thing I want to talk about is focused on a guy that we know pretty good, okay? And the success that he had overseas when he was playing a little bit of basketball. Actually, it wasn't even overseas. It was actually just right under the country of America in Mexico, actually. And it was the USA U16 men's basketball team. So, heck yeah, I think you guys know where this is going. We're talking about Caleb Holt, Buckhorn boys basketball player who helped to drive that team into the state championship to win it all. Guy was a freshman, okay? And the year before that, he was an 8th grader, still playing on that team. He was starting varsity, guys, okay? And now he is playing for the USA basketball team, at least the under-16 team. And this past weekend, he did bring home the gold. And I want to go through these matchups that they had because it's almost like nobody had a chance against this squad, all right? Nobody had a chance against this squad. Back in June 5th, okay, June 5th, they played up against Puerto Rico, 96-61. America takes that one. Argentina, 113-52. America takes that one. Against Mexico in Mexico, 122-53. Ain't nothing about it. Easy stuff. Uruguay, I don't know what that is. Bandi, do you know what this is? Oh, I can't hear you.
No, I can't. No, I do not.
Okay, it's another little country, I guess. 123-45 against Puerto Rico again. 122-63. All right, pretty close to what that first score was when they played them, except for more points from the USA. Canada doesn't stand a chance. 118-36. Make sure you remember Canada because they'll be playing again later on. Puerto Rico again, 96-61. Argentina, 113-52. Mexico, 122-53. It just continues, okay? Look forward to the championship game against, Canada, the team that put up probably the least amount of points against this team. And Caleb Holt and the crew go off and absolutely decimate them. 118-36. Kids doing big things. Big things in the world of basketball. Make sure you guys remember the name Caleb Holt, all right? Because me and Bandi are probably going to be saying it quite a bit next season for the Buckhorn boys basketball team over in Newmarket. But, Bandi, I think you got to hit that music because we're going to get into some of this Oakland A's resurrection as well as some of this SEC scheduling that's going to be going down today at 6 o'clock. So, that's all coming up on What's Cool.
It's getting hot in here.
It's a little touchy over there.
That's a spicy meatball.
So it's time to cool down with Captain Cool.
You know what cool is? What you're looking at.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, how about Caleb Holt, Bandi? I mean, nothing but love for the kid. He's doing crazy things.
Dude, how about it?
It is great to see happen. I'm trying to look at some of the stats that he had because obviously he's not just playing with other players in this same area. He's playing with the best of the best around the USA. Okay, so I want to take a look at the box score and what he was putting up. It looks like in most of these games he was putting up around 6-7 points, which again not too bad. Let me take a look at these other games. I'm trying to figure out a little bit more on these because honestly, he was just in these and then they won already. Okay, he put up 14 against. I wish I knew this country. You know I'm bad at pronunciations. Uruguay. What is that one?
Let me
Uruguay. Uruguay. I don't know why I'm having such...
Uruguay.
Yeah, you think? It just doesn't sound like a country that I've ever had to say before.
Uruguay.
Uruguay. I think it's Uruguay. Maybe. Possibly. Either way.
Man, we need to do a geography refresher.
I've been playing Risk as of late.
Risk?
I've been playing a lot of Risk.
You'd be playing some GeoGuessr.
Yeah, GeoGuessr would also probably be a pretty good pick for me. Let's see what he had against Mexico in one of those matchups. Because, again, I mean, this kid, he was putting up like 14 to 20 points in every single high school game that he had. But against these other teams, it's going to be a lot tougher because he's going up against some of the hardest opponents in all of the world. Looks like he was averaging around 8-9 points a game. So pretty good for Caleb Holt. I mean, he's a freshman. You got to remember that. He's a freshman in high school, and now he's going on to his sophomore year, and I only see big things for him moving forward. So.
I do too. He's got what seems like limitless potential right now.
Oh yeah, he's just gonna keep growing, and I hope the best for him as well as the Buckhorn boys basketball team because me and Bandi Man are gonna be covering that team all next season, and I'm looking very much forward to that. But let's go into this Oakland A's story because again, we talked about this quite a while ago. The A's have been pretty much pushed out of their own city. And now we finally get the reverse boycott that they've been talking about for a while, where they were just going to pack the crowd. They were going to pack the stands. They were all going to show up and show that there is still a baseball market in Oakland. The thing is, it's a little too late. I don't know why they didn't try this a little bit earlier, Bandi. I don't understand because it's not going to be taken back. The Nevada, I forgot. I think it was who was it? Yeah, the Nevada Senate approved a bill that would provide public funding for the new stadium. So, I mean, that was one thing that they were really just, holding on to. They were just like, oh, well, we might not. Well, it's going to be a lot of tax. Well, Vegas has all that tax because of all of the gambling that is done, all of the stuff that goes down in that city. But it's pretty cool to see because you think about how many people usually show up to an Oakland A's game, and their average is around 800, or no, not 800, 8,555.
Yeah, I was about to say 800 would be hitting their all-time low.
Yeah, and the lowest mark that they had this season was actually back in May, and it was 2,064 fans at an MLB game in a stadium that holds 60,000 people. Okay. Now,
little low.
Little low. And when I say the number that showed up at this game, it is pretty amazing. Okay, it is crazy to see that this many people still are around, but it doesn't do too much to really change our opinions on Oakland's fan base for their baseball team because it's not even breaking the opening day box office or whatever. I would say box office, but I'm just all into movies right now. The opening day attendance that showed up, and it's still impressive, but I just feel like it's a little too late. Okay. Day one, actually, it was a little bit over their opening day. But day one, they had 26,805 people there. Okay, against the Los Angeles Dodgers, okay? And that's also California games, so people don't have to go too far, all right? But last night, they were playing up against one of the best teams in the league, the Tampa Bay Rays, okay? This was already known that they were going to play up against a pretty tough opponent, and there were going to be a lot of fans. People speculated if it was going to be the Yankees. They speculated if it was going to be another team. It ended up being the Tampa Bay Rays, which are all the way across the country compared to Oakland, all right? Bandi. The team had a record of 27,759 people there. pretty spectacular.
Pretty good.
And they were able to give the fans a show because they won that game 2-1. And right off the bat, we could tell that these fans aren't happy because, first off, the game just starts, and you can hear chants. You can just hear chants. Sell the team. Sell the team. They're chanting, sell the team, because they're very upset about the owner that it has been just dwindling away, showing that he has no respect for this team, and he's kind of just over it at this point. But, I mean, that's easy to see because they're 18-50 on the season. But also, at the same time, team's been playing pretty freaking good because they are on a 7-game winning streak. And I believe this is the first time that a team this bad had been on a 7-game winning streak or had this type of record. I don't know if it's ever happened before.
Well, I mean, didn't we just kind of see a little bit of it earlier this year with Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay, that's a team that starts off with a winning record, though. A team that has.
But how are they right now?
They're still pretty good. They have 22 losses on the season, I believe.
Okay.
But you look at the
I just know they've fallen off a lot compared to then.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be winning every single game. Obviously, fatigue comes into play. Obviously, pitchers have to go in and out and all that stuff. But the Oakland A's being a sub-500 team and having a 7-game winning streak is quite spectacular, all right? It's something that does not happen much, all right? But, yeah, there were a lot of chants from fans saying, sell the team and stay in Oakland and all that stuff. But, I mean, again, a little too late for these fans to be chanting this stuff because it's like, why didn't you guys try and sell out the crowd earlier in the season, you know? Why didn't you do it like 2 months ago, around when the season first began? Just keep trying to, if you want to be for this team, show up for the team instead of just, not being there for a majority of the season and then having a reverse boycott and then showing up all at once and then just, next game they're going to be back down to like 8,000 maybe, 7,000 possibly. And it's not like nobody was happy at the end. I mean, people were cheering, obviously, that this team won. It looked like a Trash Pandas game because everybody was just happy. They were playing some music and stuff like that. Except for the only difference between this and a Trash Pandas game is instead of the fireworks, it was a bunch of trash being thrown onto the field from a lot of fans. Because, again, they're not happy. This team has been given up on, and they're going to be sent to Las Vegas to play some Vegas ball. But if you're an A's fan and you stay an A's fan, they might go on and win a World Series now that they have a better market to play in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the A's their own. That's my, I think that's, what is it, Sabalba?
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a joke over there.
Who's Sabalba?
Sabalba, or is it, what's the guy's name in Star Wars Episode 1? The guy that sells the pod racer.
Oh, are you talking about like the guy with the weird nose?
Yeah.
Oh my
like
gosh.
A pig.
Yeah, it was like a trunk.
Oh, Sabalba is the one that actually races.
Yeah.
Sabalba's the really good racer in the orange and black.
Yeah, wasn't he kind of like a mercenary too?
I don't remember. I just know he's really good at racing.
Which, by the way, while we're talking about movies, do you mind if I spoil The Flash for you for a little bit?
I don't care.
Okay, because there's a leak scene coming about the movie, and I'm already not a fan of bringing back like younger versions of actors in CGI.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
You know what I'm not really? You know what I'm even a less fan of?
Bringing back young actors that have done terrible things in the past.
That's one part.
Okay.
Seeing 2 of them in the movie was not fun.
Was it just like 2? Okay.
2 Ezras, and they brought back Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of bringing back dead people in a movie with CGI.
You talking about Superman?
Yeah.
Christopher Reeves?
Yeah, Superman Christopher Reeves.
Eminem's gonna have a heyday on that.
And it looks terrible.
Oh jeez, I have to.
But it's like a PlayStation 2 render of Christopher Reeves. That's what it looks like.
Sheesh. Well, maybe they're not finished with the movie yet. I don't know. Bandi, you're gonna get a lot of hate now because you just spoiled this movie. I don't think people.
If I get hate for spoiling The Flash with Ezra Miller, then hey, feel free.
It just looks. I don't.
I'm already gonna pirate it.
I don't want to get off topic and talk about that movie because I've never cared for the Flash series, the newer ones. I used to love the Flash. He was my favorite superhero. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the live action on CW or whatever, looked terrible. It looked abysmal. It looked, and I almost gave Green Arrow a chance. It looked really cool.
Yeah.
But then seeing the Flash and all the bad animation they had throughout that series,
it was terrible.
I was just like, this looks like the Power Rangers, but if it was trying to be a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot because Power Rangers already tries to act serious.
Yeah, but just the idea of bringing back either like deceased actors in the current times, like through animation, like
I don't know how
that never sits right with me.
I know. I don't know how I feel about that. It's like the the Tupac concert?
Yeah, the Tupac hologram.
When he was a hologram. Yeah, that one also was a little strange. Like if they did it with like Michael Jackson and stuff like that, I wouldn't, feel too, right about it. But I mean, like with the technology advancing the way it is, like we had the hologram concerts and stuff like that. I know that the Japanese love their Hatsune Miku concerts that they have. I used to be on that stuff sometimes. I was like, this is really cool technology.
The Vocaloid stuff, yeah.
The Vocaloid stuff. But now that AI has been, making leaps and bounds, across the world, we're gonna probably see more of it.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that either.
But what gets me the most mad is that they didn't even have to do this.
No, they did not.
Because I mean, I'm a comic nerd.
Yeah.
I like continuity.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what Superman came after Christopher Reeves?
Oh, I forgot his name.
One Mr. Brandon Routh.
Okay. I'm glad you knew that.
And what's good about those Brandon Routh movies is that they directly followed the Christopher Reeves ones. They were a direct continuation.
Nice.
So you know what they could have done? Just get Brandon Routh.
Coulda.
That's all you got to do.
Which ones was Brandon Routh in?
Crap. It was like Superman. Let me see.
Was it Returns? Or are those a little later? Because I don't know all the Superman movies. Was Christopher Reeves the first Superman?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in Superman Returns in 2006.
Okay. I liked that film. I liked the plane going into the baseball stadium and stuff like that. That was a good film. Okay.
Oh, he was also in Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, okay. Well, Henry Cavill's the only Superman I know.
Yeah,
so.
But again, you got a direct continuation of that.
Mm-hmm.
Just use him instead of doing a shameless CGI resurrection of Christopher Reeves.
I'm going to have to see that. I'm going to have to see a little bit of it. But we got to talk a little bit about this SEC schedule because
we do.
It's reported. We don't know if this is all 100%, but we think it is. Alabama's going to be hosting the Georgia Bulldogs come the 2024 season. Okay. This isn't happened. Look, these teams have only met in the regular season like 4 times across 20 years. So I'm loving it because first off, they get another chance at playing each other during the regular season. Second off, Alabama's going to be in Tuscaloosa, and they're going to be feeling a little hot while they're playing this game. They're going to be coming out with a passion.
Yeah, but they're also playing at home. They're used to it.
Yeah. And third off, Georgia's not going to be Georgia like we've seen in the past. This is not the same powerhouse. Obviously, we have to see 2023 before we see 2024. Yeah. I may be wrong. This may be the best team ever. Kirby Smart may be the smartest man to ever walk this earth, and he knows what he's doing exactly to a T. But at the same time, Nick Saban will still be coaching this team, and we're going to watch a really good football game during regular season, and it's going to consist of 2 of some of the greatest teams in college football. All right? I'm looking very much forward to it, but some Georgia fans are not.
Yep, they are not. Because browsing the Dogs HQ forum, we got a couple comments.
Can you tell me some?
That is absolute horse crap from the SEC. Try to censor it as best as I could. There's a lot of good. I cannot say a lot of that.
Well, I mean, you are quoting it, Bandi. I'm joking. Continue.
It appears Brooks is carrying on the McGarity tradition of just letting the Alabama wing of the SEC screw over Georgia with regards to scheduling.
Okay, so, Bandi, we have a little bit of an argument towards these very crusty, dusty fans right now, okay? Not everybody who's a Georgia fan is crusty, dusty, okay? I'm looking at you, Steve.
This is BS.
I love you, Steve.
Fire Brooks' ass tonight if this is how it goes down.
Guys, Georgia's had some of the easiest schedules in the last 4 years, let alone the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you could say the same about Alabama. It's whatever, okay? At least these 2 teams are playing each other.
Yeah, but the West is objectively better.
The West doesn't exist anymore. And yes, that is the truth.
Yeah. Well, now it doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I never even thought that, honestly.
Really?
I always thought the East was a little bit better, but maybe I'm just living in 2014. Because you got the LSUs, you got the Alabamas, I mean, you got some good, solid squads. You got the Ole Misses.
Yeah. But you got the Auburns. You got the. Let's see.
Yeah. Let me take a look. All I know.
You got the Mississippis.
We won't have it anymore, though. That's the difference. It's not going to be a thing. The divisions are gone.
Texas A&M.
So you're going to tell me, Bandy, okay, that Alabama, LSU, Auburn, Arizona or Arkansas, Florida, soon to be Oklahoma, Georgia. Well, no, I don't know why this is all like. This is all. It's not showing me the actual.
It's not showing you the conference.
I'm upset. I'm upset about that. It's not showing me the division on divisions, the old divisions.
Yes, you can't fact check me.
I can't fact check you. Oh no. Well, now I'm just embarrassing myself as well.
I'll get away with misinformation. All right.
Yes.
One more thing from Dogs HQ. How about we are sick of getting shafted out of home games? Sick of giving thousands of dollars to get censored. There's just stars. To get crapped on by our own AD and the SEC. But it isn't being scared to play them. It's being sick of being crapped on by the powers that be. I mean, again. Who's been challenging you in the East?
Yeah, not a lot.
Nobody.
It's weird. It's just weird. Also, with the Oklahoma and Texas coming in, Texas 2022 conference schedule is debuted, and it looks like the reports coming in that they're going to have a home game against Georgia, a road game against Texas A&M and Arkansas, and also they're going to play Oklahoma in Dallas. So we're going to see some good stuff out of those teams. And, overall, it really just moves on to that next question. If the league does move to a 9-game year, is like, who are going to be the constants? Who are we going to continue to see? That's the question a lot of people are asking. But honestly, when it comes to Alabama going up against Georgia, I think it's a great matchup. I don't think these teams should play every single year. But I do think every other time that they play, they need to be in one another's stadium. So, obviously, just to make it fair. But Georgia fans, you can't be too upset. You've been living on the high ride for a few years now with 2 national championships now in your pocket in the last 2 years. So, we're going to leave it at that. We're going to move on to the final segment of this first hour. When we come back, we're going to close out the first, preview the second, and then get into all of the fun with RJ White as well as the E-Play-by-Play with the Bandi Man. So, don't go anywhere because you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called. Guys, music can inspire us. Let the concert quality sound system at Zoom Indoor Cycling help push you harder than you ever thought possible. No matter if you're a beginner or an experienced rider, you'll ride top-of-the-line Stages SC3 bikes as the most talented instructors in North Alabama motivate you to reach your goals.
You can do it!
Zone Indoor Cycling is this week's Zone deal. Get a $100 certificate for just $50. Get yours now at 977ESPN.com. $2 specialty shoe rental per ride for new riders. The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day, Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at $5. Coralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials. These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If your home needs updating or you have some projects that you just haven't gotten to, Eagle can help. They install shower doors, mirrors, shelving, blinds, bath hardware, and lots more. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, The orthopedic specialist from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you're ready to lower your utility bills, Eagle can insulate your home and help you save money with fiberglass, spray foam, and cellulose insulation, and can help you decide what's best for your project. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. Afternoon Blitz, John Abraham Chem Cool, the Bandy Man to my front.
Hello.
And hello. What's
hello,
that
Peter.
What's that meme?
Hello, Peter.
Hello, Mario.
Hello, Mario.
I always think you're gonna say that when you're just like, hello. So now we know. Okay, we have the divisions in front of me now. We can actually tell you clearly exactly who they are. They're hard to remember, all of them. I know we probably should, but we don't need to remember them moving forward because, again, they're getting rid of them. Either way, East is Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, Kentucky, Florida, Missouri, Vanderbilt. Those last two, that is what you look at, Missouri and Vanderbilt.
Yeah, the West, you got Alabama, LSU, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Auburn, A&M.
Yeah, so let's just think, okay, from past and future, I mean,
Florida, Missouri.
Florida, okay, Florida.
No, I didn't mean Florida. I meant Vanderbilt, Missouri.
Kentucky. Those teams have been trash, okay, for the longest of times.
Yes.
Okay, Missouri's had some bright spots. Obviously, Kentucky's gotten a little bit better.
Well, they had a good first year.
They did.
They had a really good first year.
They did. When they first joined the league, they definitely did. But
what have they done since then?
Nothing. They haven't done anything. Vanderbilt's always been pretty bad, and Kentucky has just started getting onto their, well, we're a football team too.
Yeah, Will Levis helped, but even then it was still 7-6.
If you look over at the West, it's LSU, Alabama, Mississippi State. Mississippi State, controversial sometimes. You never know if they're going to be good or not. Arkansas, same type of thing. Auburn, right now, they're on a decline, but I think they'll be back up in, I'd say 2025. Texas A&M, kind of same with Missouri, where it's like this team has good, bright spots. They've had Johnny Manziel in the past.
Okay, it's the same with Missouri. They've just paid more money.
Yeah. Texas
A lot more money.
Definitely more money, obviously. But still, West has definitely always been better than the East, even despite Georgia kind of being on top of all of college football for the last few years. Either way, we got to hop out of here, get into the second hour. It's crazy this show's already flying by. I wonder if it's still raining outside. Make sure you guys have Fleming Roofing and Restoration on your side, though, because they'll be the guys to take care of all of the damage that the rain and the weather brings to your roof, whether it's small or full reconstruction of that roof. Fleming Roofing and Restoration will show up and get that job done for you. And you know what me and Bandy will do? We'll get our job done, finish out this second hour that starts with RJ White from Sportsline.com, so don't go anywhere because you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you need masonry, brick, stone, or block work, Eagle should be your first call. They can even help if your property needs grading, erosion control, and Eagle can handle dirt haul-off. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you're ready to lower your utility bills, Eagle can insulate your home and help you save money with fiberglass, spray foam, and cellulose insulation, and can help you decide what's best for your project. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
This hour of the Blitz is brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Online at FlemingHSV.com. Welcome to the evolution of sports radio.
You see, in this industry, just like in life, everything evolves.
Call 256-576-4977 to make your audible for the Blitz.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Captain Cool and the Bandi Man.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. Second hour here on a wacky Wednesday in no man's land. Welcome to the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. John Abraham, Captain Cool. Right across from me is the Bandi Man, Bailey Lowry.
Hey.
And we're having a lot of fun on today's episode. But before we go any further, we will tell you guys the particulars. This hour is presented by Woody Anderson Ford, the best place to get the best vehicles for the best prices. That's right, you can drive home in a brand new 2023 Bronco, Mustang, or if you're into trucks, they have a plethora of nice ones for you. Bobby White and his crew will take care of you guys, no doubt about it. And you can find out more at WoodyAndersonFord.com. And also, thanks to Woody Anderson for being the top sponsor over for the Rocket City Awards coming up this upcoming Monday. It's insane to think about that it's already showed up, and I'm very excited for it because it's going to be a great night. It is on the 19th, and you guys can definitely get a little look at that whenever we get closer and closer to that date. You can also try and get some tickets because there are some available. Just, find us on social media and you'll be able to look into a little bit more of that. So definitely do that if you guys are interested. Also, you can find us on the Twitter sphere at the Blitz_sports, as well as on Twitch and YouTube at WZZN TV. Now, on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline is a guy that we used to have on all the time. Now we kind of took a little bit of break because the football season came to an end. Now, since basketball and NHL have kind of, halted very quickly, we look forward to the future, and that is the NFL, and it's right around the corner, and we got a lot of stuff still going down for this offseason that could maybe change up a lot of these storylines, and that's why we have one Mr. RJ White from Sportsline.com on with us today. RJ, how are you doing, man?
How are you?
I'm doing fine. Bandy's doing great. We got football to talk, so that's always the best. So first things first, before we get into any of the football stuff, So for you, RJ, what have you been up to since for the off season over on Sportsline.com that you'd want the people to know about right now?
Yeah, it's off season for football, but we're always trucking along on Sportsline. I mean, we had a great coverage of the tennis, the French Open, that came and went. We have the U.S. Open this week. We've been hit. The College World Series is starting. Yes. So Alan Bell's been great with his college picks. He shared them a lot on the Early Edge and in Twitter. We're going to have all of the World Series picks on Sportsline. So it just trucks along. It's this we do UFC, we do boxing, we do a ton of stuff. So it's never really an off season at Sportsline. In terms of what I've been doing personally, it's organizing our fantasy sports coverage. I'm also the editor of the fantasy football side. So we put our fantasy football magazine out with Beckett Media. So we've been getting all our material together for that, editing that, and that's going to come out probably late July. But we're filing that this week. So a lot of good stuff going on.
Heck yeah, and I'm going to need to keep an eye on all of that because the fantasy football season is coming up. And I did win the championship, I think it was like 2 years ago, and I gotta reclaim that championship so I can get another ring on my finger. But either way, going over to the NFL talk, there's a lot of storylines going on, especially around the offensive side of the ball in this past week. But the biggest story continues to be DeAndre Hopkins and where he'll end up at the end of this offseason. And the Titans have done a lot to entice the veteran wideout, okay? But come Thursday, tomorrow, the Patriots are going to have their shot at Hopkins. And, I mean, both teams really need the help at the wide receiver position. But who do you think is more likely to pick him up? And if not these two teams, who else?
Yeah, I think it's probably the Patriots. The thing you had to worry about there is Bill O'Brien. That was they had a falling out when where he departed Houston. They had a long time together there, and it seemed like there might be animosity. But it was reported today by ESPN's Diana Rossini that there is no animosity at all.
Oh.
So if that's not an issue, you figure that Hopkins would love to go there, play in a system that he knows well, where he's going to be the clear number one receiver if he signs there. Juju Smith-Schuster isn't going to stop him from getting number one targets.
Yeah.
So if he wants to rebuild his value, especially on a one-year deal, and show that he's still a premier receiver, that he's going to get all the targets he can get at that offense. So I expect New England's probably going to be the most likely place. If it's not there, I mean, it might depend on whether an injury happens, something else happens in camp where somebody's really desperate and needs to fill that number one receiver spot with a guy that has proven he can be that in the NFL.
Yeah, and the one thing I was kind of looking at is, I mean, the Patriots right now, they currently have, I think it's just over $14 million in available salary cap space. And I was thinking, like, that would fit for a one-year contract for a guy like DeAndre Hopkins. He wants to get that money. And I think that they'd have a little bit left over if, anybody else tried to come onto the team or if they needed to pick anybody else prior to the season. But, I mean, for the Titans, I mean, wouldn't you think it'd be just as good as a pick? I mean, they've been trying so hard. You'd think, they could probably land DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, is that something that might happen if the Patriots don't?
Yeah, he's already visited with them, and when he leaves without having a deal, you kind of figure like if everybody was in love with the situation, he would have been signed in that moment.
Okay.
But either he didn't get enough money, or doesn't love the system, or has other places he prefers. And they have an emerging wide receiver one in Treylon Burks. I said Juju Smith is going to stop DeAndre Hopkins from being the receiver one, but with Burks being in that system now for a year and developing rapport with the quarterback and all those good kind of things. It's possible he's the number one receiver, and Hopkins gets put into that number two role. That who gets more targets than who, and think probably the Patriots situation makes more sense for him. But it could be possible. I mean, the Titans certainly could use the receiver help, no question about that. But is that going to be a good enough fit for DeAndre Hopkins, offensive wise, and what his role could be, and the money that he might get offered?
Yeah, and I mean, it's just. Kind of speaking of the Patriots and their position right now that they are in, if they are able to land DeAndre Hopkins, they have a quarterback right now that's trying to resurrect his career almost because he's having some difficulties in New England, and that is one Mr. Mac Jones. But kind of looking at him, there are plenty of quarterbacks that are kind of in the spotlight this season. I mean, if you look at a few of them, it would probably be Baker Mayfield in as a Buccaneer, or you could look at Jordan Love as the next great in Green Bay, or you could even look at maybe Kenny Pickett for the Steelers, or even Jimmy G. I mean, which of these QBs do you think is having the most pressure going into this upcoming season?
Well, I think Mac Jones probably has the most pressure because if he doesn't do it this season, with his former, a system that's getting put in place from Bill O'Brien, who was at Alabama the last 2 years, handling a system put in place by the guy, Steve Sarkisian, who ran the system for Mac Jones. So, I mean, all the connections are there, and it looks like they're putting elements of that offense into place. So Mac Jones should be very comfortable in this offense. And when we talk about, surprise teams and surprise performances, a lot of the times I point to coaching as not being as focused upon as it should. People only really tunnel on the players. But when you get a terrible coaching situation like you had in New York 2 years ago with Joe Judge, gets upgraded to a very, very good offensive coach in Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka as the OC, you just see the sky's the limit for that offense, and they took major steps last year. The Matt Patricia and Joe Judge offense in New England last year, it was abysmal. I mean, it's on that level of like anybody could be an upgrade. And now you're bringing in a guy, Bill O'Brien, with proven success, developed Deshaun Watson into one of the best quarterbacks in the league in his time in Houston. That's the guy that could take Mac Jones to the next level. And Mac Jones did show some stuff in his rookie season before the Matt Patricia train, started rolling along. That showed you that he could be a good quarterback in this league. So the pressure's on him this year because if it doesn't happen now, these other guys, Pickett, I think it's only year 2 for him. I think he showed some good things. He can have some positive touchdown regression that I feel confident in him moving forward. Not that he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He could be a solid starter. Jordan Love, this is his first crack at it. Baker Mayfield, I mean, this might be his last chance. He's obviously under pressure too, but I don't think anybody's expecting much out of Tampa. But it's really on Mac Jones to prove that he could be the franchise quarterback there, because if it doesn't happen this year, it's not going to happen, and they're going to be looking for someone else next year.
Right, could there also be like another quarterback in that equation? I mean, now that the Panthers have moved Bryce Young up to the QB1 spot, I mean, a new rookie going in and start. I mean, no matter like how good he played in college, a rookie in the NFL getting a starting job in his first year in professional football. I mean, how do you see Bryce Young like stepping onto the plate and taking on this challenge?
Yeah, I think the only biggest issue people have with Bryce Young is his size, and will he be able to hold up in the NFL? Coming into the league, that was the big question mark. But he has all the other things, the intangibles, the precision with his passing, the arm, just everything. I think he's going to be a good quarterback if he can hold up. So I don't know that he's going to feel a ton of pressure. It's obviously year 1, new coach, and everybody's kind of clean slate in that organization. But who's going to be throwing to? The receiving core doesn't look that great with Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, Jonathan Mingo headlining that. So Harris Marshall. So we'll see if he makes some positive steps moving forward. They are competing in a down division in the NFC South that anybody could win. Maybe they could win. But it's really about year 2. Are you going to go out and get him the number 1 receiver that he needs, like A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts last year, if he's making those steps forward to show you he's the franchise guy? So, temper expectations for this year based on who they have in that receiving group. But, if he starts to look good and he does a lot with a little, then who do they go out and get next year to turn him into a star?
RJ White from SportsLine.com talking everything NFL with us, and kind of moving on, since we're still talking about QBs and stuff, and we brought up Bryce Young, we might as well bring up the other quarterback that has a pretty good shot at starting at least at some point in this season, and that's one Mr. Anthony Richardson, who might be in an even tougher spot right here because, I mean, you look at the wide receivers this team has, and they haven't been able to really find success in the past, even with Matt Ryan or any of the other players that have played for this team. But Anthony Richardson, he's a guy, he's got a lot of swagger. He's kind of taking that approach that Marshawn Lynch did, where he's just like, I'm just here so I won't get fined and stuff like that. I mean, is this a kid that also might be getting a chance pretty soon into this NFL season in his first year in the NFL?
You would expect so. I mean, it's the coach they hired is a first-time head coach. It's not he doesn't have the sway to not tell the owner, what to do. And we saw how much the owner meddled in the situation last year, telling them to start Dan Mellinger, and then when he obviously disappoints as expected, going back and forth and really not knowing what's going on in that situation. Yeah. That's the guy he wanted. That's he's convinced that that's the guy. So he's going to want him to start sooner rather than later. I mean, Gardner Minshew hasn't proven he's going to hold off anyone, really. So it's really up to Anthony Richardson showing in camp that he's not going to completely fall on his face if you start him out the gate. So I would expect him to start sooner rather than later. We'll see how effective he can be. He has all the physical tools. I mean, he tested out of the roof at the quarterback position, kind of broke all the scales at the quarterback position for his athletic testing. But will he have the footwork to develop that? I know it was a problem with Florida. Will he be coachable? Will everything click? Will they have enough on offense? He has a great running back, to lean on in Jonathan Taylor. The offensive line has degraded over the last few years to the point where it was once one of the best units in the league. Now they still haven't solved their left tackle issues. And then the other guys who were stalwarts for the longest time, kind of starting to falter. So I'm not that worried about the receivers. I think that Josh Downs was a nice get. It's a nice add to the abilities of the bigger guys like Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce. And Michael Pittman has shown he could be a number one receiver in this league, not to the level of like an A.J. Brown or a Tyreek Hill or that level, but he's shown he could be a solid number one. So I think they have the receiving talent in place. I really like Jelani Woods, too. Really big tight end that they're going to put in that Dallas Goedert role for Shane Steichen. And I think he has, like Anthony Richardson, he has the physical traits to win matchups most of the time. It's just, can he connect on that level with Richardson often enough to where he's a good tight end in this league, putting up tight end one type of numbers. So we'll see about that. But I think the opportunity is there for Richardson. We'll just see how much he can develop because I wouldn't call him raw. I call him inexperienced, really, because, he didn't play too much at Florida, and it really didn't seem like he played in a system that fit him. So we know what Shane Steichen did with Jalen Hurts, building a system around him to really play to his strengths. Maybe he can do that with Richardson here.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to look at the big horse in the room, which would be Gardner Minshew, and obviously it's nothing that Anthony Richardson has that can't do when it comes to his athletic abilities, but maybe on the field working with this team could similarly be a Atlanta Falcons type of thing with Marcus Mariota starting and Desmond Ridder coming in just I think 4 games into the season, so we might as well just see that with Anthony Richardson as well. But moving on to the running backs real quick, because Dalvin Cook did get released just a little bit ago. He's still fresh to the free agency market. There are a few teams looking at him, but which team do you think he actually might have a chance of getting onto?
I think Miami's a good landing spot. They have a lot of talent in the running back room, but some guys that haven't been able to stay healthy as veterans. They brought in Devon Achane, the rookie. Very excited about him. Explosive talent, but I don't know if he's going to handle a starter's workload. Would be nice to get a guy like Dalvin Cook in there that has proven to be a starter, and then mix in the guys that A, can't stay healthy, and B, very talented but might not be a starting workload type of guy like Achane. So I think Miami's probably a good spot for them. They have everything else on offense. Their offensive line's going to be better with the additions they've made. Quarterback, as long as Tua stays healthy, he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league playing in that system that can maximize his talent. And then, receivers, we all know how good they are. So you put Dalvin Cook to that offense, I think he would see that as an opportunity to be on a team that he thinks he can help get to the playoffs and maybe make a deep playoff run if everything else clicks on that offense. And, talking about coaching, you have to look at people don't play too much into coaching when they're looking at who's going to be better or worse and how players are going to develop. Vic Fangio was one of the best hires in this cycle. I mean, he's going to really transform that defense, and I really have confidence, especially with the pass rushing talent they have on that team, that he's going to take that defense to a new level this year. So you put what could be a very good defense with the type of firepower they have on offense. That could be a really good team.
RJ Winder from Sportsline.com doing everything he can to tell us all the information coming up into this NFL season. And then one really, really big team that I'm looking at right now, that I think most of the country is looking at, is the New York Jets. And I know right now they're kind of looking a little bit more like the New York Packers, and that looks more and more every single day because they did just pick up a defensive player in the form of Adrian Amos, who was quite spectacular even last season for the Packers, but it's just another Packers player getting brought over to the Jets. And I just got to ask this because this team's starting to look like an actual contender, but what else do they need to kind of put things together to finally be a team that could possibly win the Super Bowl instead of just get close to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, concerns about the offensive line, much like that Indy team the last couple of years. That people saw as could be, they go out and get, the veteran quarterbacks that could put them over the hump, the Carson Wentz, the Matt Ryans. We know how that worked out. But they really didn't have a chance playing behind that offensive line, particularly when the left tackle, they really had never addressed the left tackle. With the Jets, everybody expected them to address that position in the draft, but it just turned out teams traded over them to pick up offensive linemen, and they were left holding the bag at 15. They took a pass rusher in Will McDonald, who I think a lot of people thought was a fringe first rounder, probably late first, early second, maybe a guy they were hoping to get at their second round pick, and just had to go and grab him right then. So we'll see if the offensive line can hold up. It's not like Aaron Rodgers is a guy that can paper over all your flaws at this point. We saw that in Green Bay last year. Green Bay looked, a about as mediocre as they have in a long time last year. And he was a quarterback of that team. And you can make all the excuses about the offensive line and the receivers and people staying healthy, but he just did not look like the same quarterback he has been the last few years. So if that's quarterback the Jets are getting, then quarterback might be the combined with the offensive line issues, might be the thing that holds them back, which is weird to say because they went out to upgrade the quarterback, and that's why they have such short odds to win the Super Bowl, and they're considered probably the number 4 team, I think, in the odds behind the in the AFC behind the 3 juggernauts at the top. So if he can't get it done and be that quarterback from a few years ago, that just kind of really falls apart. I think defensively they're all pretty solid. That injury to Chuck Clark was unfortunate, having to bring Adrian Amos in there. But I don't think defensively they have any issues because of how talented they are on each level.
Yeah, and it would be a very sad time in New York if they gave up a lot for an Aaron Rodgers that played like last season. So I definitely would feel bad for him. But you know what? I'm not a New York Jets fan, so that's kind of how it is. But either way, there's more stuff going down in New York, and this will be the last question before we get you out of here. And it's mainly around the New York Giants and their whole deal with Saquon Barkley. They're trying to offer him another deal that they already offered him in the past, and there's just a lot of confusion going on. And that's outside of even the Buffalo Bills confusion that's around Stephon Diggs. But for the New York Giants and Saquon Barkley, what is exactly going on in this whole situation, and how can the Giants really just keep number 26 in New York?
Yeah, I think the fact that they are offering a deal that was on the table before putting it back on the table is good. It gives them a starting point to negotiate from, and you probably don't need to do too much after that point. So we'll see if that happens. I think that they aren't going to overpay him. They have a smart front office. They don't want to lock him up to this massive long-term deal a la Ezekiel Elliott that they're regretting in year 4 and year 5. They want to be able to be flexible and get out of X because the nature of the running back position, as good as he is, you can argue at this point no running back is worth the type of dollars that we saw them get 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So, the Adrian Peterson level type of contract. So he has to. I mean, I'm sure that his age and his representation, people are telling him that there's a cap to the number you're going to be able to get just in 2023 in the NFL, and we have to realize that. So let's push to get as much as we can. But I think they'll have some resolution. I don't think he's going to sit out the season. He's important to what they need to do. They feel like a team that's progressing. They kind of had exceeded expectations last year, kind of sped up their timetable a little bit, surprised people by winning a playoff game in year 1 of Brian Daboll. Really feels like they're in a team on the rise, and I think he's a big part of what they need to do, especially when you look at the receiver, core. If they don't have Saquon there, they're going to be throwing a bunch of passes to Darren Waller and, a bunch of receivers that either can't stay healthy or feel like they would be the number 3 or 4 receiver on every other team that are just comprising that entire receiving core. So they really need him to be in there, but I don't think they're going to overpay him just knowing the people in that front office and where they come from.
Yeah, exactly. And with a lot of the moves that we have seen with running backs, it is starting to see that a lot of these guys, they are replaceable. I mean, it's crazy to even see in the NFL. I mean, it is one of those positions that will take a lot out of you in a short amount of time. But RJ, it's been great to talk with you yet again. Can't wait to get you back on around the closing part of the season, or at least the beginning of the season. But let the people know where they can find you online and on socials.
You can find my work at Sportsline. We're going to have a lot of betting content, previewing the NFL from me over the next few months, and then obviously get into the season. Got my best bets and everything there. Also have a lot of other great experts in other sports, so you don't have to just limit everything to the NFL. Mention a lot of them at the top. You can also find me on socials on Twitter at RJWhite1.
Great stuff. RJ, I can't wait to talk with you again. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time.
Thanks. Take care.
Good stuff. RJ, glad to have him back yet again. It's been so long. The amount of knowledge that guy has in his head, and just like the little details, too, that he gives us is absolutely spectacular, okay? He gave us everything that was on my sheet. He gave Bandi a little extra, and you know what? We're already at the end of the segment. So we're going to look on to the gaming portion of the show. We got a little bit to get into with the Bandi Man, and that should be a lot of fun when we come back from the break here on the Afternoon Blitz.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. Taking care of your property yourself can be a real headache. Eagle can handle it for you. They offer full landscaping services, irrigation, mowing, bush hog, and can install plants and trees, sod, and even landscape borders. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
There are those among us when disaster strikes and seconds count, they rush in. Where would Huntsville and America be without them? They're our military and our first responders, and at Woody Anderson Ford, we salute them. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, where all military personnel and all first responders get an extra $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all other offers. This offer is good through July 5th and can include an extra $1,000 bonus cash on 2023 F-150 and Bronco Sport, $1,500 cash back on 23 Edge, and $2,000 cash back on 23 Explorers. These offers are available for everyone with good credit through Ford Motor Credit, but military and first responders get an additional $1,000 appreciation cash. Our way of saying thank you for having our back. Woody Anderson Ford, over 60 years of serving those that serve us. Hope to see you soon.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
No one knows your Ford better than our factory-trained, certified technicians, and that's a fact. Hi, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, letting you know about a one-time service promotion good through June 30th only. Starting at just $79.95 when you get the Works package for your vehicle. You buy the first one, the second one is on us. The Works package includes a synthetic blend oil change, tire rotation, vehicle checkup, and more. You buy the first one, the next one is on us, but only through June 30th. Schedule online today and come in to Woody Anderson Ford.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms of varicose veins include pain, swelling, aching, heaviness, and fatigue. Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville can diagnose and treat your varicose veins with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Call 256-715-7151 to schedule your free screening. Go to bestveincarehuntsville.com.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Philip Love of not only Eagle Insulation, now he represents Eagle Companies. Eagle through the years have added several companies to help individuals or builders through their construction renovation process. Eagle is known to represent quality, efficiency, and professionalism. Philip, I know you do insulation, but do you do masonry?
We do.
Do you do grading, erosion control, and dirt hauled off?
We do.
Do you do after paint, which includes shower doors, mirrors, shelving blinds, and bath hardware?
Yes, we do, Wes.
Do you do landscaping and irrigation?
Yes, we do.
So basically, Eagle can help you all along your process of building your house or doing renovations. So do you do plumbing?
We do not, Wes, but we can find somebody to do it.
Just give them time. They'll be there. Anyway, call Eagle Insulation at
256-755-1556.
Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Call Eagle today.
Thanks, Wes.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Afternoon Blitz. Here on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Network, I'm the Bandi Man Bailey Lowry, joined across the glass by Captain Cool John Abraham.
Yo!
And this hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, the best place
to get the best vehicles
for the best prices.
That's right. Head on down to Woody Anderson Ford right now and pick yourself up a brand new Ford Bronco, Mustang, or if you're into trucks, they have a plethora of nice ones for you, including the F-150, the Maverick, and the always reliable Ranger. Head on down, talk with Bobby White and his crew, and they will take care of you guys, no doubt about it. You can find out more at WoodyAndersonFord.com. And also, remember that these guys are the top sponsors for the RCAs, a.k.a. the Rocket City Awards, this upcoming Monday at the Mars Music Hall.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be getting a little bit of love over there as well, and you know what? They're giving us love too, so you know what? We're going to be happy about it. It's going to be a great event, and I've got a lot of work to do.
They're giving you a lot on your plate.
I'm just like, Scuba Steve has been texting me throughout the show, just like, hey, I need this, and then I'm like, okay, I can send that over to him, and then
it's like, don't you know I'm live?
Minuteman, I guess, sent him something. He was like, yeah, we need this in a vector, and then he was like, he just sent me an email with help. He was forwarding me their email, and I'm like, okay, well, now I got to try and make this thing a vector while I'm doing the show. So that's what I'm doing right now. Bandi, the spotlight's on you, big guy.
I'm about to say, we've gotten through the sports talk. Talked a little bit of basketball, not much. I mean, it's over.
Yeah, it's all over.
The decimation that was Stanley Cup final last night.
Yeah, that also happened.
NFL preseason.
Yay!
With one Mr. RJ White from Sportsline.com.
Off-season. Preseason is coming, though.
What? Off-season, preseason, tomato.
I guess.
I mean, it technically happens before the season.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, it's all preseason after the Super Bowl.
I'll take it on a technicality, but it's time to get into the video game news because we've got. Excuse me.
You're good.
Had a little bit of a burp, but
a little bit of throw up.
We got some hands-on impressions of Armored Core 6, and if you were worried that because it's being made by FromSoft, it's going to have any kind of Souls-like elements, well. Worry no longer, because this is Armored Core through and through.
Nice.
This is going to be next-gen Armored Core, and it looks fantastic. Blizzard has nerfed Diablo 4's best dungeons to farm, experience, and loot, sparking a backlash from the player base. And a GTA Online update has removed more than 180 cars and bikes and put some behind a paywall.
No!
That's all coming up here on the E. Play by play.
Time to catch up on esports with Play-by-Play with the Bandi Man.
So where do you want to start first, Captain Cool?
Do that GTA story.
Yeah, we can talk about this for a little bit because an update rolled out for Grand Theft Auto Online.
Okay.
And on top of the player base already kind of speculating like, hey, we might be seeing some GTA 6 teasers here in this update, like starting now.
Yeah.
They've also removed a lot of cars and bikes. More than 189 of them.
Sheesh. It's a lot.
And lo and behold, they had the audacity to put some behind the paywall.
Why would they do that?
Well, still to make money.
I see it. Like, I've heard some good things about this update for like the Xbox Series X. I kind of want to know about those details, but I didn't know that there was a whole nother like story to it. Did you? I'm queued up, right?
Yeah, you're queued up.
You're just concentrated right
now.
now.
Yeah, no, I was concentrated on one of these quotes because this player base is not happy.
No?
They are not happy at all. Quote, they really ruined this update already with that stupid S word, said another. One user claimed to have been playing the game since 2013 and that their response to it and that their reasoning for removing all the vehicles was that, hey, we're trying to streamline the buying process, streamline the shopping experience.
Okay.
But that player's been playing since day one, since launch, said, hey, this has never been an issue. It's like we've never had, if there's any, he said, quote, if there's one thing I have never heard anyone say since 2013 is that there are too many cars available to buy. I've never heard that, not once.
Yeah.
And it's true, that's like one of the, is it one of the key aspects of GTA? Well, I feel like it's one of the main goals that a player strives toward is to have a full garage full of really cool looking cars. You know?
That is definitely the goal.
You want to have like your own custom garage full of cars that either you stole or that you tricked out yourself.
Exactly.
And lo and behold, if you remove 189 of them, that's going to leave a lot of players not only disappointed but furious.
I agree. I'd probably be one of those players if I've been playing, especially since 2013, since the game's release. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The list of frustrated users goes on. This is freaking robbery, said another. Holy crap, the lesser used term was a gigantic lie. Everyone thought it was going to be the NPC vehicle or really, really old ones. This is disgusting trying to create fake rarity like that. So, hey, it looks like if you still have those cars in your garage, then congratulations, you still got them, but you can't buy them anymore.
Yeah. Huh.
So it's fake rarity. Yeah, like they said, like they removed the option to buy a car just so because you can't buy it anymore, it's now by proxy more rare.
Yeah, and that's what leads people to selling their accounts for extremely expensive amounts of money.
Yeah. And you know what they just added here in an update not too long ago?
What'd they do?
The ability to have a 50-car garage.
What?
What? Yeah, you got a 12-car garage. How about 50?
Wow. That's a lot more than what I thought you could do.
I wonder what I can do in GTA Online now, because I really have not played it since, like, 2016.
Last thing I saw was that casino update, and I know they added a bunch of new cars with they tried to add real cars.
Mm-hmm.
They look identical to, like, new ones. Like, you can find, like, Nissan Zs. There's I believe there's the Toyota, 86 and all that stuff, but they're all, like, rebranded into GTA style so they don't get sued, of course. But
yeah, of course.
Still, they've just continuously added more and more to that game. So impressive on Rockstar, but also this is something that, Rockstar doesn't really do to us too much,
No.
Just kind of take away the freedom that we had before for no good reason, really.
Now, I found this story earlier, and I thought it'd actually be cool to bring up because did you ever expect we'd be getting a brand new Game Boy Color game in 2023?
I had no clue.
And did you also think that the people who'd be putting it out was McDonald's?
What?
Yeah, for Grimace's 52nd birthday, they actually released a Game Boy Color game, which you can play for free on their website. Or, lo and behold, you can actually download a Game Boy, like a ROM version of that game.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you're good enough at cartridges and, I don't know, game technology, I don't know, like old retro game technology, you could actually put that on a Game Boy Color cartridge and play it on an actual Game Boy Color.
I think if people already have.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
Dude, who was your favorite McDonald's mascot? The Hamburglar, there was Grimace.
I didn't really think about him too much.
I always got him mixed up with like stuff that Burger King would throw at us, But no, Grimace has always been a goofy fella.
Yeah.
The Hamburglar's been a little crap this entire time. And then that little chicken thing, I don't know what the girl's name is.
I don't know either. But you know what I found out?
What?
You know what Grimace is supposed to be?
What?
A taste bud.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I found out.
The hell is that?
He's a taste bud.
How is this a taste bud? Is this a taste bug on taste bud on like a giraffe's tongue? Giraffes got like purple tongues. I mean, that's
I
like
guess.
this thing.
I don't know. Maybe.
McDonald's is like, what did you just make, dude? And he's like, I don't know, but it looks cool. Looks like the Cookie Monster, except for a little bit more wonky.
I never thought we'd even see a new Game Boy Color game ever being made again.
That's funny.
Let alone by McDonald's.
Good job, McDonald's. That is actually really good. I want them to actually have these as like toys. Why didn't they sell these like Burger King did with video games on the Xbox 360 back in the day?
Yeah.
This would get people into the store or the restaurants to get Happy Meals. I would be one of them.
Yeah, I'd be one.
I'd pay a little extra for this. I need a new game on my Game Boy Color.
Okay. Now, I actually saw this headline too, and it got me interested because I wanted to throw this to you.
Okay.
Disney Vice President of Games wants more elevator proposals like Kingdom Hearts. Now, what that kind of means, they want people to just like pitch these kind of just crazy ideas right to the top to try to get something made.
Yeah.
Because that's what Kingdom Hearts was. It's like, hey, what if we combine Final Fantasy and our stuff, make an original character, and make something crazy out of it, make something good.
Okay.
And we're like, why not? Let's see what happens.
That's probably why, or how Smash Bros got the what's his name in the game? What is his name?
Sora.
Sora. That's
Yeah.
probably how they did it.
That took almost a decade to get done legally.
That's what the Disney guy wanted, though.
Yeah, that's how protective Disney is.
I mean, why are they asking for it if they take so long to get this stuff through?
Well, this is kind of like in work, so it's like they want more elevator pitches so we can kind of get more unique games out there. Like, there was one I played on the Wii. I remember a while ago. That was actually pretty good, and I would like to go back and play it. But do you remember Epic Mickey?
Isn't that like the painting game?
Yeah, like he had the paintbrush.
Yeah.
It was like a platformer.
I do remember that.
Actually, pretty good.
Really?
But it was an out there idea that he would kind of like travel in. That he would travel into these books. He would meet up with Oswald the rabbit, who was also kind of in a legal rights battle, like between who owns them, and then all these other classic Disney characters that you never really saw anymore. And it's like I kind of wish they would do this more often. Like instead of focusing on a lot of these newer projects, like try to introduce this newer generation, like the ones that are most interested in what you're making, to your older projects, to your older IPs.
Yeah, I would be totally fine with it. What would be a game that you'd want to see Disney make that's something out of this world? Let's just, if we were game developers right now and we wanted to use their license, what game would we make? Obviously, Star Wars is something.
Yeah,
but let's just not do that.
We already got Star Wars.
We
We got
plenty
plenty of Star Wars.
Jinx. But you know, I really liked the that one thing that they were doing back in the day. What was that one game where you place the monsters?
Disney Infinity?
No, well, yeah, Disney Infinity. So you got so you skipped over my other question of what the other game was called, but it's fine. Disney Infinity. Whenever they did the Star Wars stuff, I actually thought that was some of the most, I'd say, interesting and most highly potential type of stuff they could have worked with. But obviously Disney Infinity didn't go too far. They only ended after like 3 series came out. But whenever I was playing through the Star Wars stuff, I was like, this is a really good vibe. I get to see all of this, this Clone Wars. I don't know
Wars World.
I don't know. Yeah, Clone Wars World.
Yeah, I got one.
I almost did it again. It was kind of tough. You said it pretty good, but it's like they have the potential to make this stuff. What would you make though?
What would I make? I mean, there's a lot of franchises that you could do. I mean, one of them I had in my idea was, there's a new animated series actually going on that's kind of like this guy's own take on Mickey Mouse.
Really?
In the gang, yeah, like in his own art style and humor.
Huh.
Really good, but it's called Disney Illusion Island. It was going to be a platformer.
Okay.
Not bad at all. But I'm trying to think, besides like old Mickey, what kind of old franchise would I go to? Am I feeling Pixar or am I feeling like traditional old school
Could
Disney?
be either. I was thinking like the first thing that comes to my mind, Little Mermaid in a racing game in the water. Little Mermaid racing.
Little Mermaid
Why
racing.
not? Why not, Bandy?
Why not?
And if you ever go above, like out of the water, you turn into a human that's running. Though they would be naked, completely naked, because that's kind of how it is.
Oh
but still, that is an idea. That's a pretty good idea. What else we got? Monsters, dude. Monsters Inc.
Yeah, Monsters Inc.
You create a. How could you do this? Maybe you create a scene to where you have to scare the kid, or you have to like sneak past his room and get into like this small area and like scare him. You have to be in the right area.
Yeah, like try not to get caught on your way to the bed, like between the closet and actually like next to the bed.
Don't wake the kid up. Don't let the animals eat you, because you can start out like small, and then the more like points you get, you can rack up, and you get bigger and bigger, and then you can scare the kid.
You know what I would do?
What?
I would make a traditional. I would make a 2v2 tag fighter with Disney characters.
Why not? That's actually a really good idea.
You combine the old with the new.
Yeah.
And you make it an assist-based fighter.
I don't think that would be bad actually. Even if they tried to do like a platform like a Super Smash Bros. They've got the characters to do this.
Like imagine you get a tag team going of your old IP, of your old favorites, and your new ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would actually 100% be running probably like Aladdin and Stitch.
Yeah. There'd be a lot of princesses though.
Yeah.
Be a lot of princesses, but they'd all have different abilities.
Hey, the one from Brave would she would have an arsenal.
What was her name?
I forgot her.
I
I forgot her name, but I know she's got a bow.
Ilda? It's something like that.
Katniss?
I know she's Irish. No.
No, it's Scottish.
Scottish. Same thing.
Oh,
Who's gonna?
They would 100% disagree with you if they heard that.
Me and you are both getting canceled on this one. What would be another one? Oh yeah, Goofy, his child. You know his child from the Goofy movies.
Yeah, Max.
A skating game. It'd be a skating game with Max. You know.
Max Goose Pro Skater.
Why not? I think that'd be great. And you actually use the old Wii skateboard from Skate. You know.
Hey, put him in Skate 4.
Skate 4 Max.
Okay,
DLC character.
Let's see here. Okay, I kind of wanted to expand upon this because you told me about this story yesterday, how a Titanfall 3 developer came out and said that, it was 10 months in development before plans changed if they turned into Apex.
Yeah.
And we got a little bit more clarification as to why. And that it was around PUBG's release.
Oh.
When that happened. Is that the internal decision was made, like, yeah, we need to pivot, that transformed Titanfall 3's development into Apex Legends. So, again, kind of the rise of the Battle Royale genre. I mean, Fortnite was really around its peak at that time. Call of Duty, was that when they took a stab at it with Blackout? Was that around the time? Because that was 2018.
2018, I believe Black Ops 4 came out 2017?
Oh, yeah, it was around that time, like 2017, 2018 when Blackout was the thing.
I remember that Titanfall 2 got sandwiched in between Battlefield 1 as well as Call of Duty. That one could have been Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure on that. But that was the last time that they tried to come out with a game, and it did not compete well because it was literally in between two other big titles.
Yeah, it was the Horizon Zero Dawn of FPS, of first-person shooter games.
True, yes.
Yeah, but, man, I just hate that with just the social popularity and the rise in popularity of the Battle Royale genre, that's what shifted development. Because I firmly believe, and we have all these movement guys now, like, if Call of Duty had developed the same way, like, Respawn had not even worried about Apex Legends and just continued to develop and make Titanfall 3.
Yeah.
Call of Duty went on its same path, and we got, like, all the movement tech and all the movement knowledge discovered and figured out. I 100% believe all those movement guys would have taken a look at Apex and would have been like, yeah, I want to play that over this.
True.
Or, Titanfall 3.
Yeah. Titanfall 2 was already amazing.
Yeah, it still holds up.
It still holds up, and another reason was because they didn't think it was that much better than Titanfall 2, so they just canned it. I was like, Titanfall 2 was already almost peak.
It was great.
Stuff was great, and it still lives up, even though it gets hacked at times. It's still great. It's a wonderful game to play. It's super fun. A little bit different too.
Okay. I also want to bring up this story because I want to know how you feel about it.
Okay.
Do you think the developer might have taken might have been a little too quick to put a hand in this? But the Blizzard has nerfed Diablo 4's best dungeon to farm XP and loot, sparking backlash. So a recent hotfix came out, and it was actually the 9th one since the game came out earlier this month. And a quote came out from one of the developers saying, "We are standardizing the density of elite monsters that spawn in dungeons to ensure that no particular dungeon is clearly more efficient to run through than others. They have lowered the number of elite monsters in the dungeon that are deemed too popular for farming."
Okay.
Because elite level monster drops, they drop the best loot.
They do.
And they dish out the most XP. So, of course, all the players that want to grind up fast and level up fast and get some good loot are going to go to those dungeons and kill those monsters. But do you think they might have been a little too quick to lower the spawn rate? Because a lot of players have come out and said, can Blizzard stop nerfing any fun/good dungeon in the game and instead maybe start buffing like 90% of the dungeons that are so bad people don't even run them?
Yeah.
Dungeons with low monster density, all dungeons, LOL, are just boring. We need more density. So it seems like from the fan base and from the player base, they just want more monsters to kill.
Yeah.
So instead of lowering the elite spawn rates of the ones that players are going to, hey, they're saying, why don't you just buff up all the other dungeons around the game so that way we're not just going to these. We can also go to all the others in the game. Or do you kind of agree with Blizzard in that it's like, we kind of want to lower the spawn rates so that maybe people aren't getting like really good loot too quickly in the game, and just flock into only these specific areas and not really exploring everywhere else.
I like going down the path of Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2, when everything was crazy, okay? And then you just continue having everything be crazy. I like the more monsters. I think that if you let it be fun, people will find those, like, they will start moving out to different places. If you also buff those other places. I think taking away is a lot worse than adding, okay? Because if you take away, there's less for the player to play, and if you add, there's only more. So that's my simple way to put it. Blizzard, do what you gotta do, but quit ruining games.
Yeah. One guy, Reddit user, Audio Rejects, which, by the way, Reddit's going through their own, like, blacklisting thing, like, kind of, like, wipe of their site. Like, it's going crazy over there right now.
Yeah.
I might check up on them here, like, in the next couple of days to see what's going on. But from what I've been hearing through the grapevine, it hasn't been too well over there.
Sheesh.
But one Reddit user summed up the sentiment in a post that's had over 5,700 upvotes saying, "Devs, we run dungeons to level because the XP everywhere else sucks." Seriously, what are you doing? Why do you think so many people keep running dungeons? Which I feel his sentiment. It's like, if you're gonna nerf the only thing that gives XP, I mean, that's the only thing they want to do is when they're trying to level up fast, because they've been saying the grind from level 50 to 100 is insanely long.
Sheesh.
It's gonna be like an 80-hour endeavor.
Wow.
So I mean, they're trying to get through that as quick as possible. So if you have everywhere else in the world have really bad XP gain and really bad drops, where do you think players are going to go? To the spots that have the good drops.
Yeah.
And the large amounts of XP. I just don't know what they're thinking with nerfing it, because they're not buffing it anywhere else. So, hey, the grind just got longer, fellas.
Let's go.
Keep on it.
Hopefully, hey,
Diablo 4, baby.
I'm glad I'm gonna wait and then
Game of the year.
I'm gonna wait and then get the game, so then I can also get all the good stuff, because I'm gonna let all the guinea pigs go and waste a lot of their life playing that until I can hop on and play.
Yeah, which I gotta respect those guys, like the ones that like go as like pretty much speed run their way to level 100 and like on hardcore mode with permadeath. I mean, hey,
it's a grind.
I respect it. It couldn't be me.
No, I wouldn't want to do that either.
But we got to take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to wrap up the show. So do not go anywhere. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So if you don't happen to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner of University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Crimson Tide football. Stop into University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com for all our great offers. And get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today. Because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide!
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Hello, welcome back in, everybody. Johnny Ram, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandi Man, Bailey Lowry, here on a wacky Wednesday in No Man's Land. We've had a lot of fun on today's episode. We talked with RJ White from Sportsline.com. He had a lot of insight on what's going down in the NFL offseason. Bandi got his gaming news out of the way, and there's a lot of interesting things to think about. It's not just like the normal, there's this is a thing that is in a game and stuff like that. We're learning a little bit about how Disney wants to, add on to their gaming portfolio and make more interesting games similar to Epic Mini. Also, we're learning that Respawn was creating Titanfall 3, and then they had to turn plans because PUBG was becoming a thing, and they wanted to make a game that would probably be something like that. I have no idea. It's a weird timeline that it all goes down, honestly, when it comes down to it. Either way, we've also talked a little bit about the sports. Because this is a sports show, we talked a little bit about the Golden Knights and how they found success against the would-be Panthers, the team that I honestly thought would be able to make a run and finish off the playoffs on a high note. Similar to how a lot of people thought the Heat were going to do the same thing over in the NBA because these two, lower seed teams come in. Yeah. Underdogs going up against some of the best teams in the league, a.k.a. the Nuggets, a.k.a. the Vegas Golden Knights. And both of them get clobbered, and I think the Panthers, and I think Bandi can also agree. I almost called you Banther. That's a new name. It's Banther and Gorlock.
Banther.
Banther and Gorlock. That's actually, I'm gonna write that down in the notes. But it comes down to it. Me and Bandi agreed that the Vegas Golden Knights, that was definitely more of a one-sided affair than the Heat and the Nuggets. So 9-3, never a good look, especially not in the final game of the season. But hey, the South wins hockey this season, and you know what? The West wins basketball this season, yet again. Either way, we've had a lot of fun. Talked Oakland A's, Resurrection. Talked a little bit about DeAndre Hopkins. Talked a little about the SEC schedule that, again, is coming out tonight for 2024. We'll be talking about that tomorrow. And also, after this, make sure you guys are going and checking out the Braves as they have a doubleheader today. I believe one of them is already over on the 97.7 ESPN The Zone, but they still got one more to play. But for me and the Bandi Man, we'll be out of here, but we'll be back in 22 hours here on the Afternoon Blitz.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room.